Hello, so we're going to continue with the Ascension symptoms, and I do apologise, the last few videos I must have knocked my microphone off, so they're probably a little bit quieter, but now I've got it back working, it's back on, so hopefully you can hear me a little bit better, it's not going to be so quiet. Maybe we needed that, right? Sometimes we just need that so we really listen intently. But here we go, we're moving on to the plasma diamond light body. So Zanita says, this is a channeled message from the 144 Seraph. Therefore, no editing was done, so the codes held within it is not altered. So this is going to be very powerful. So actually it's quite apt that the microphone is now working so I can deliver this message with power. The physical body is made up of atoms and ions, therefore it is capable of a biological ionization process to generate plasma. This plasma is needed in order for the physical body to transform from dense flesh into plasma light. In order for higher consciousness to be orchestrated through the body, there needs to be an increased amount of plasma light. This requires an abundance of energy, and to receive this, one must be very devoted to protecting their personal energy, as well as being consciously aware of how it is spent. To advance in this way, it requires a conversation of energy from the material plane and redirecting it towards your consciousness. When the focus is on your consciousness, it helps you to stop wasting energy. This will help strengthen the connection to your direct soul spark. The physical body is a resonator designed to respond to the oscillations of energy from its surrounding environment. When this connection is off balance, it causes a disconnect in your energy field. When it is not disrupted, one has an abundant supply of the life force energy, gains the ability to heal themselves. Within this universal structure is an abundance of plasma, and this is what your higher form is abundant in as well. It is from the center sun that arms of plasma light sparks are spiraling and feeding all life forms in this universe. When it enters this solar system, it is in the form of solar flares. Every particle of this plasma light is the gold dust that houses the purest form of God consciousness. So too does your own center sun, which simply is the pearl heart of your monad. The closer you get to your wholeness, the more abundant you become in the sparks of light. Your very own solar flares are felt in the body in the form of electric shakes. This typically happens at night when the form is most still. They feel like you have just had a surge of electricity entering your body. This is plasma light. As more and more of these sparks feed into you via your pillar of light, it transforms your very cells. This transformation can be fully achieved by self-discipline, by being consciously aware of your spiritual devotion and connecting consciously every day to your pillar of light. Those who call themselves light workers, those who claim to be dedicated to their physical ascension path, heed this declaration. For thee was not sent here to ride the emotional roller coaster of the material theme park. One was sent to be the light anchor from the future, so that the disruptive energy here can have a chance of being redirected closer to the God consciousness sparks, so that the many souls fractalized in the future planetary wars which caused mass destructions can be healed, saved and brought back to unification with God consciousness. The physical body is designed and houses several energy antennas that allow you to always charge your energy field. When your energy field is fully supplied, that is when you are able to have a two-way transmission of the Christos light, meaning One can always be connected to the divine mind and the divine heart. It is when you do not have this power supply, or you choose to waste it in the material plane, that you become unbalanced physically, emotionally, and mentally, causing you to be unable to receive any transmissions from all the other golden dust sparks of light. It is very easy to know when this is the state you are in, because you will feel depressed. Your mind will be constantly in motion and searching outside of itself in ways of distraction from the emptiness and sadness that you feel, which itself is an illusion. Choosing to do the work, clearing the mind daily, and being consciously aware of the movements of the mind and the disbursements of your energy is key. Many of you cry and call out for help when it is this simple, and it is you who needs to do the work. Each of you have the capability to harness energy because it is a part of your sovereignty. In each breath you take, divine energy is gifted to you from the divine creator. It is you who has to be mindful of how you spend it. If you choose to waste it, you cannot ask for more because you have the responsibility of managing it. Every life force is gifted the same amount. Why should you be given more when there are many others who do the work? To ascend out of the flesh, one must strengthen the plasma supply of their light body. Your light body is fully influenced by your own personal choices, your lifestyle and your environment. Remember that included in this are your thoughts, actions, non-actions, words, the food you eat, as well as all other energies you infuse into the vessel. Many are deeply feeling this shift occurring inside of them. They are feeling their higher essence call to them, but instead of retracting to go within, listen and do the work, they resist it. They are choosing to instead reach outside of themselves for others to do the work for them. No one will ever reach a higher octave by this method. Ultimately, it is you who must abide by the natural laws of existence in order to fully physically ascend. We end this with the grand saying of, in order to heal, you must feel. They are referring to feeling of your own inner light, which emits from your heart. No one outside of you can emit this. You must feel it from within. So that is so beautiful. And you know, last night I was having another massive upgrade, and the light was raining in through my crown chakra so much. It was actually tickling. It was actually really, I was actually just laid there going, wow, this is so like amazing and like just so intense and tickly, and it's so beautiful as we start to perceive that, and we start to perceive it as we start to do our inner work, right? As we start to clear out our templates, we start to integrate our shadows, we start to spend time in meditation, in stillness, in presence, in nature, connecting to the self, not distracting ourselves from ourselves. You know, like she's saying, we have to do the work. If we're not willing to do the work, we're not going to be able to oh, did you see that little light then dancing around the screen? We're not going to be able to realize these things within ourselves, because we're going to keep ourselves cut off from it. So message for stage 2 light workers. So again, Zanita says this. Hold on, did I just reread that, or is there another message? Ah, no, there's another one. Brilliant. Zanita says, this is a channeled message from the 144 Seraphim. Therefore, there is no editing was done, so the codes held within are not altered. As of August 202, and I'm getting a huge crown activation here as I read this. Ooh, those who house a specific amount of crystals light within their central nervous system are no longer anchored to the 3D earth they incarnated upon. It is because of this new shift within them that they will start, some have since April 22, to have different so-called ascension symptoms. As stated in the Angelic Pearls 144 book, and as part of the Pearl Code teachings, this is due to the anchoring of the Mukana template. These light warriors that will be experiencing these symptoms are due to the divine mission asked directly by divine source several million linear earthly years ago. These are pure angelic Christos beings that were the teachers in the time of Lemuria and part of the original solar tribes. These are beings who have just finished their collective transmutation process over the last 2 decades. Then it says some since the 1970s, and are now entering a new phase. Their first phase was mainly focused on collapsing timelines, removing the attachments cords from organic earth worlds to inorganic programmed events, anchoring their crystals light to help clear inorganic DNA mutation held within the spirals of earthly worlds, empirically helping to remove stuck negative entities as well as earthbound souls, transmute collective negative ego programs, opening, closing portals from the earthly worlds to the higher worlds, loads of conscious grid work. Please note there are many more and each hold their own individual duties for the light. These souls are what we call the breachers in a war zone. They use their tools and mastery to remove energy dams, caps, locks, doors and barriers. They are now using their tools to help create new pathways, bridges and doors. They oversee building tall passings of light and patrol the borders between worlds. It's because of all this hard work that most of you directed this energy from your field as anger and rage. Right, I've just started reading another book which I'm going to be releasing in a few days. Anastasia, the Ringing Cedars, where I talk about that, about anger. 2020 really triggered a huge amount of anger and rage that needed to be released from my body that had been suppressed, that's been triggered due to the pandemic, and then I started to realise that I could use that fire, that passion, and direct it in a much more constructive way for myself and for humanity and for the planet. You emitted random outbursts and held low tolerance to all around you. Absolutely. This is simply because you literally are bringing all these lower frequencies into your field to be transmuted and sent to source. You are a source portal and you are pulling into you these codes via your crystal tube. This next stage will remind you to simply be. Instead of actively doing, I love this message, I realise I am being asked to simply be. We ask you to just be the IV line of pure light for source to drip, drip, drip into the earthly veins. As this happens, you are going to experience new sensations and symptoms. This again is for souls in stage 2. It does not make them better than or less than, because all are created for a divine purpose. Absolutely. The higher you expand both physically in consciousness and as a spiritual being, the more responsibilities you have. With these responsibilities come 100% accountability, self-discipline and awareness. Each of you since a child knew you were here for a specific reason. Whether you were fully aware of it or not, there are many who have just felt this shift within them since 2020 and some since 2018. And I really resonate with that because yes, I did know it as a child, but I wasn't fully conscious, aware of it. And many of us as children, we know these things, but it's programmed out of us. It's not validated. We're not seen. We're not heard. And that's not because people around us are bad or wrong. It's just due to the programming, the mind control. But there are certain events that happen in the life that boom activate our next level of awakening. So whilst I was awakening throughout all this, something happened to me in 2015 that started a deep level awakening. It was really 2020 that shook my whole foundations and absolutely collapsed everything around me, and like she was saying, I was feeling so much rage, so much anger, and I found it very hard to tolerate what was going on, and that people couldn't see it as I could see it, as everything was being collapsed. And I started to realize from 2020, as I started to go even deeper and do my work, the mission that I was on, why I started to remember consciously why I was here, why I came here. And I know many people that are listening to this are going through those kinds of awakenings as well, and are going to start to, if you're not already remembering your mission on earth, you're going to start to remember it more and more. And some since 2018. This is not meant for you you are in your stage 1, which is completely different from those in stage 2. Simply think of these groupings as war times. In war, do you not have some warriors with more fighting experience? Do you not have some warriors with a stronger talent or skill than others when it comes to combat? This next phase of symptoms includes the linear Earth seasons of fall 2022 to fall 2024. Is during this time you are meant to be the IV line and help to feed this new Makana light template. This is when you are literally be the 144 rainbow bridge. It is during this time many higher light beings will be in communication with you and be seen. All of you in this grouping have already encountered them and seen them as tall pillars of pearlescent light. These pillars of light extend beyond your house, ground and sky. This is whom you are in your higher form, beautiful ones. Hence why we say you are the portals, and it is through you the collective can transition. Then Zenita Ra says, the main message the 144 Seraphim wish for you all to know is that you are all angels. Every single one of you of all stages is a divine messenger of the light. Look into your eyes and see within. See this light within. Allow that light, that divine spark of light that you are, to expand from the back of your heart like wings. Whenever you feel alone and need comfort, think of those wings. Use them to wrap around you and transmute what no longer serves you. Remember what must happen before you fly. First, love yourself. So that is the fly, right? First, love yourself. Absolutely. We've got to fill ourselves up. We've got to radically love ourselves. All parts of ourselves that we've been taught to hate, to deny, to repress, to feel shame about, to feel guilt. No, no, no. You are innocent. We are innocent. We are unconditionally loved by God source. But we all have this divine God source spark inside, and God source is just waiting for us to connect to that and to let that love move into our energy field. And as it moves into our energy field, it dissolves all of the illusions, all of the programming that is not us. All of those shadows we start to dissolve and integrate. And I'll just remind you, I do say it often through this. Why do I say it? Because, you know, I have been on this journey of deep initiation. I know what my mission is. My mission is to invite people, to open the door to people to go inwards and do that deep inner healing, to integrate those shadows, to reunite with the soul, to fill the body up with the soul light so that they may move into a place of being in joy, being in bliss, so they can unlock your destined path. Only you can do it, but I can guide you through that. So I give away, you know, this program that I created, the Reconnect program. It's changed my life. You know, I've been on this journey for a long time, and I went down many dead ends. There's a lot of infiltration in the spiritual community. There's a lot of infiltration in all of the systems out there, and I had to try a lot of things and realize it wasn't right and it didn't fit in order to go deeper and find the truth. So what I bring together in this 8 weeks is a powerfully profound awakening, healing and transformational journey. Will everything be awoken within 8 weeks? No, this is a spiral that we continue to go on and deepen, but you'll have all of the tools to continue that journey, and it will take you on a more accelerated path, because it's going to take you on a more direct route than the route that I had to go on. And when I was doing it, the one that I've actually recorded, so like I say, you get the first week free if you want to try it out, see if it fits, but the one I actually recorded that I did live in, so I've been doing it for many years with my clients, sculpting this, and on myself. You know, it's born through my own, it's birthed through my own experience, my own embodiment of it. But I did it live for the first time in October last year, and you know, I had like 4 people on it, but and they were all my family, so it was totally free, so I wasn't making any money from it. But you know what, I didn't care, because I knew it was something that I had to do. I knew it was initiation that I was going through. I knew that in doing it, it was going to heal me on an even deeper level and allow me to bring forward more light. And it was such a magical experience when I did that back in October last year. I really jumped up onto a new timeline going through it. And then I did it, and then I went traveling. I was guided to go traveling in America. I was doing some grid work, and I was also healing even deeper. I was just absorbed in nature. It was beautiful, but I had to face myself in a lot of ways. I was traveling with a friend. We're very good friends, but you know, when you're together with someone for 7 weeks and our shadows were coming up, we were triggering each other, and I had to really dig into that 100% responsibility, knowing that, you know, it's so easy to blame someone else for making us feel a certain way. It takes a warrior to actually realize that, you know, how we feel, well, we are sovereign beings, and we can, and it's up to us to take ownership of that rather than to project. And I took ownership of how it was making me feel, and I asked myself why it was making me feel, and I allowed myself to feel how I felt, and I allowed it to come out of my body. I didn't tell myself all these stories from my friend. I just went into myself, I realized I was being given a gift to heal wounds of the past on an even deeper level. And then I did the Reconnect again in April, and that's the one that I've recorded. That's the one that is the 8 weeks program. It's soul masterclasses. Energy transmissions is the first part, and then it's hypnotic meditations is the second part, and there's lots of bonuses in it. But when I did it this second time, I was even shocked, and you'll see it through. There were so many things that came through in the recording. I was realizing that I was bringing information from the future. It's when we realize there is no real future, there is no real past, it's all now. I was tapping into things in the quantum, bringing things forward, and that was being recorded and shown in the recordings. There was so much magic that unfolded through it, and my channel opened up even more, and I was receiving even more information. And it was, even though I had in my mind a framework for it, I actually approached it each week and just opened up and said, right, what is for the highest good of the people that I'm working with, of the people that are going to be plugging into this Reconnect program, who I'm here to birth it for, including myself. What is the highest expression of this? I knew it was already created, and I just had to open up and receive, and that's what I did. I opened up each week and I received, and it was just beautiful how it all came together and how it all flowed together as if I'd planned it all out, but I hadn't. And so it's such a beautiful program. I know it's really powerful. So if you are, you know, wanting help on your healing journey, that is what my mission is. That is what I've come here to do, to harmonize the path for others, to open the door for others to walk through, or as many of my clients did, they ran through. They took the work that I was presenting to them and they ran through it, and the results, the impact, the change was just beautiful to see. And the same for myself as well. This is why it's such an honor to be a light worker. It's such an honor to be here doing this work right now. And you know, we're all helping each other to activate, to awaken. But really, you know, it is the work we do ourselves, but there are teachers, there are mentors that are here that have gifts to offer, and we can receive those gifts, and we can transform our lives, and it's just such an honor to do this work. It's just so beautiful. I call it a win-win-win situation, because it's a win for me because I'm growing and I'm expanding, and I'm bringing in more light because I'm doing what I came here to do, and it's activating more light within me. And then for the client, they are receiving that light, and it's helping them to activate the light within them. So it's a win for them, and then it's a win for the planet, because then we've got, you know, I'm going to link a video about that I did about, you know, the earth smiles. Mother, Father, God smiles, rejoices, celebrates. The land celebrates every time there is a body that heals, that is on the healing path, because every time a human body, a body heals, our energy systems heal. As every time we heal a part of ourselves, then the planet heals with us. It's a simultaneous event that takes place. So, you know, Mother, Father, God, Source sees you, sees us as we are awakening and realizing we are part of this creation, that we are all connected. It sees us, it rejoices us, and it holds us even deeper. It's beautiful. Okay, so this little, this is to me like the phoenix rise. Oh, it's a dove. I was just going to say a dove, but it's also reminding me of the phoenix rising as well. Okay, so it's a dove. I am my one true love. Descend into me, spirit, like a dove. Then we've got the a diagram here of the respiratory system. Again, if you want to really look at that, it's a little bit hard for me just with doing this. I would pause it and have a look. And it's the light flows into the vagus nerve in order to make its way into the lungs. And when you look at the lungs, right, not only do you see the tree of life, not only do you see a tree and its branches, and think about how we're working in this collaboration with the trees to exist, to breathe, how the trees mean we can live these physical lives as these souls. We can experience this. It's amazing, right? But also they remind me of wings of an angel as well, right? The human body is incredible. Imagine truly learning about the human body as a child. I did GCSE games and they taught you about the human body, but it was so dry. It was literally just learning names of bones. It was so dry. There was nothing of how miraculous the human body is, of how the human body is just this like micro of the universe. It's like an emanation of the universe. It's so insane. And the more that I'm awakening and learning about the body, just the more I love the body, the more I'm so grateful to the body. So we can see the lungs there, the larynx to the lungs, the nasal cavity. I mean, I do hope you've purchased this book, because it's definitely something to keep if you can afford it. So you can stop and have a look at those diagrams. There's a lot of diagrams now, actually, so I definitely say pause it to have a good look here at the diagrams to really just sort of connect to this information. So it says here about the neurotransmitters. Light is unable to fully enter the body if there is damage to neurotransmitters. As light tries to enter the body, it will cause symptoms to heighten. Major neurotoxins found in food is artificial sugar and MGS, and we talked about the foods earlier. Unbalanced neurotransmitter symptoms. So when these are unbalanced, so it's asked the question, are you allowing too many neurotoxins into your body? So you'll feel stressed, lackadaisical, obsessions, irritable, migraines, insomnia, no motivation, anxiety, IBS, hormone imbalances, lack of concentration, fibromyalgia, no appetite, overeating, feeling unworthy, feeling empty and hopeless. Cerebrospinal fluid. So cerebrospinal fluid is fed light signals from the thymus. This fluid cradles the brain and spinal cord because it is your inner river of life. This is densified light of your consciousness gifted to you daily. This houses your divine template and starts to boil when it reaches the next octave. This is the real Kundalini rising, the hot breath of life. So you can imagine that, right? I'm going to link a meditation as well, because in my meditations I'm always constructing the pillar of light, and we're imagining that honey, that golden light coming through, moving down the brainstem, down the spinal column, and it's going through the branches and it's reaching into the heavens, and then it's anchoring through the roots. I'll link that meditation. It's a beautiful meditation that you can do to connect to this light. It's very healing. The trigeminal nerve. So this is in the side of the face here. It looks like it's connected here to the jaw, the ear, the eye. So let's see what it says about that. When an influx of light signals into this nerve, it causes electric shark pains. Yeah, I've definitely, these pains are triggered mainly by chewing. So I haven't had this for a long time, but I think if you go back, I do talk, Zanita talks about these as being Ascension symptoms. This used to come a long time, but all of a sudden I just get this real like sharp pain here, and it's very, just this strange oh, not nice pain at all. So that's obviously, I mean, I haven't had that for a long time now. Ear crystals. Oh, I love that, right? Ear crystals. And interestingly, I actually was guided to just stop cleaning my ears with earbuds back in 2020. I just stopped completely. It wasn't that I didn't read anything about it. I just stopped. I just had no desire to stick those things in my ears in 2020. So the inner ear is connected to the brain via the vestibulocochlear nerve. Over 90% of the neurons in the inner ear are myelinated. So it says hair cells located in the cochlea have crystals. As these crystals are using a form of piezoelectric, it causes those ringing sensations. This is due to the hair cells picking up the plasma light frequency. Yeah, definitely experienced much of that. Muscles. If you feel tight, it isn't right. So then it's saying stretch, breathe, relax. Yeah, I think that's important that we stretch our body more. And actually, I have to note that to myself sometimes. 12 rays of emotions. So positive rays or plus rays. So this is the yin and the yin. Actually, plus, minus, the yin and the yang. So we've got accomplish, create, empower, encourage, enhance, expand, expression, giving, inspire, love, passion, understanding. On the opposite side, we've got fun, enjoy, amused, uplifting, retain, satisfied, integrate, receiving. So yeah, giving and receiving, right? I just want to call that one out, giving and receiving. I'm going to link a video about receiving, because often we find it easy to give because we've been programmed to please other people. So we can find it really easy to give, but we can find it very difficult to receive. And I always say, it's like, imagine if you just breathed out and you never breathed in, well, you would wither and die. So we've got to learn also to be able to receive. Content, trust, live, acknowledge. And I think trust is a big thing that we're being asked to do as well, to be able to really trust in ourselves. Again, we're really learning how to trust ourselves, because all our power, we've been trained to give all our power away, and we're bringing it all back to the self. Emotions are simpler energy programmed with labels by the collective consciousness. They are paired as masculine and feminine rays of light that dance together to enhance their qualities. The more intense an emotion is, the more out of balance its paired frequency rays. And I just want to make a point, because I don't think I articulated that very well, because I said positive and negative. It's like, it is the positive and negative polarities, but it's not negative in the sense that we think as negative. It's the yin and the yang. Right, it's the two energies that come together that are really one, that appear to be separate, but they're not separate. They are one. Like you know, if you think about the in and the out breath, that is not separate. It is one. You have to breathe in to breathe out. You have to breathe out to breathe in. It's not separate. You have to give and receive. You have to receive to be able to give. You can't really give upon yourself if you're not receiving anything. If you're not filled up, then you might be giving. If you're giving from an empty cup, then you're not really giving at all. Body pain signals. Acne. Not presenting your true self to the world. Interesting, right? Arteries harden. Fear ball energies. Asthma, suffocated life force energy, usually stems from not being able to express true self. Bones, genetic miasma. Ear hearing, blocked to keep out verbal abuse from home environment. Fat, light worker life force protection from psychic vampires, others due to suppressed childhood trauma. Feet, lacking full freedom of self-expression. Headaches, brain hemisphere battle, conflict of true memories versus holographic. These are usually formed by negative emotions. Heart, close to the natural flow of light force energy due to hardened fear balls. Hip, not following soul destiny. Knees, not surrendering to spirit. Avoidance to flow as one. Kidney, suppressed fear. Liver, suppressed pain, anger, buried unworthiness. Neck pain, soul desire versus reality conflict. phlegm, negative balls of emotions trying to surface yet continuously ignored, sacrum, lack of emotional support, skin issues, inability to see the beauty in the world, sinuses, feeling unworthy and not appreciated, teeth, gums, inability to accept the beauty of life, thyroid, suppressed anger and negative emotions. Just going to take a breath. Mako-ho stretches. So Mako-ho exercises help to balance the flow of the chi within meridian opening movements. Here are some examples. Lung and large intestines meridians. I'm going to show you this picture. So standing straight with your feet aligned to your shoulders, hook your thumbs behind your back and inhale. As you exhale, slowly stretch forward towards your feet while stretching your arms upwards behind your back. Then we've got gallbladder and liver meridians. So you can see that stretch there. Sit up straight and place your hands behind your neck and inhale. As you breathe, bend your body to the side. Then we've got return back to upward position as you inhale. As you exhale, stretch forward with your nose facing forward. So you've got your legs out, stretch, going side to side, and then you're going forward. Small intestines and heart meridian. Place your hands on your ankles as you exhale. Place your elbows on your knees. Nice. Bladder and kidney meridian. Stretch your legs with your toes stretched towards the ceiling with your spine straight. Take an inhale. As you exhale, slowly stretch forward, keeping the toes and legs straight. Quite a lot of these stretches you do in yoga type movements as well. So I think, it's a good idea to introduce some stretching exercises and some yoga. Well, it's up to you, obviously. Do what you feel called to do. Personally, I feel called to that. Spleen and stomach meridians. Bend your back as you exhale. Take note not to arch your back and do not overbend to cause pain. I actually used to sit like that as a child. Breathwork exercises. So number 1, take 3 slow breaths into your heart center. As you exhale, keep your mouth closed and guide your breath down your body to exit from the soles of your feet. As it leaves your feet, see it become roots into the earth. And if it helps you to really focus yourself breathing in your heart, sometimes it helps to put your hands on your heart. It helps to move your attention there. But the more you get used to it, you won't need to do that, but you can. So you're just closing your eyes and breathing in and feeling you breathing in through the heart. And as you breathe out, you keep your mouth closed and you're breathing the energy down your body, down out the soles of your feet. Imagining the roots going deep down into the mother. Then you can breathe back into the heart. I like to hold for a second and then you can breathe with your mouth closed and breathe that energy back down. Down the legs, out the feet. Imagine those roots going deep and you do it one more time. Breathing out with the mouth closed. Down the legs, imagine the roots going deep. And it's such a beautiful breath exercise is that. Anytime you feel stressed, you feel anxious, you can do that. And also if you just start doing it at random points of your day, you're just constantly checking in with yourself and just bringing yourself back into balance. So it's important for us to do that, to relearn to do that. Maybe every hour check in how I'm feeling, perhaps start to do that little breath. You're going to start to feel yourself connecting deeper and deeper and deeper to it. It's going to be something you just love doing. Number 2, visualize a gold picture filled with golden light above you. As you inhale, see the picture pour into your crown chakra, the golden light. As you exhale, see it slowly flow down your spine, and do that 3 times. And the next breath one is, as you inhale, guide your breath into your stomach, hold the breath for 3 seconds. As you exhale, visualize all the suppressed emotions exiting your navel. Give all what no longer serves you to God's source. See this leave your navel via a diamond-like cord that goes into the bright white light, and do this 3 times. And then say to yourself, I forgive you. I thank you. I honor you. I love you. That's a little bit like the Ho'oponopono prayer of forgiveness. It's so powerful to say that, to hold your hands and say that I love you. I honor you. I forgive you. I love you. So this one is I forgive you, I thank you, I honor you, I love you. You know, the Ho'oponopono is please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And there is something else and I've forgotten. I'm so sorry. It's just totally gone from my mind. But you can look it up. It's a while since I've done the Ho'oponopono, but you can just say this, right? I forgive you. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. I honor you. Just those kind of words. Forgive you. I forgive you. I love you. I honor you. Thank you. Please forgive me. I love you. I honor you. Thank you. It's so beautiful to hold the hands on the hearts and say that after breath work. You're going to feel that resonate and vibrate throughout your whole cells. There's also a gratitude check-in that is suggested here, where you can really write down what you're grateful for. You know, I did used to do that. I don't write it down anymore, but I say it. Gratitude is just part of my being. But there is times when I do write it down. Sometimes I feel called to write it down, but I just go with however I feel. But gratitude is just part of my being now. I am grateful for so much in life, and I always acknowledge it, and I call it out, and I acknowledge it. In my life, in my day. It's not something that takes any effort. It's just a natural part of my being now. But you can write down what you're grateful for today. You can say, I'm so happy and grateful for I'm so happy and grateful to those kind words that my partner said to me today, because it made me feel so respected and honored. I'm so happy and grateful that I can see that sunrise, because I can feel the warmth going through my body. I'm so happy and grateful. We can say this and we can write down what we're grateful for. The more that we are grateful, the more we bring into our life to be grateful for, the more we see. So he's also got something to be proud of. So write what you're proud of yourself for. You know, it's important for us to acknowledge the work that we do, to be proud of ourselves. It's not big-headed to be proud of ourselves. It actually really helps to build our self-worth and our self-esteem, to actually be proud of ourselves and what we do and what we achieve. You know, the Earth School can be a difficult school to be in, and often we don't see all these little steps. We don't take time to stop and think about everything we've achieved on our journey, and just have gratitude for ourselves and be proud of ourselves. And then she's also got tomorrow, what to look forward to. So you can write what you're looking forward to, which is really priming that energy. It's really sending that higher self out to pave that day for you, the day that you want. You can say how you want to experience that day. It's like setting an intention. So she's also saying to do that in the morning. So her suggestions are, do it in the morning, and also do that in the evening. Do 3 things that you're grateful for. Just journal about what was the best part of your day and what you learned from your experience. Then it's saying do those 3 breath works as well. There is a 30-day self-care challenge in here. I'm not going to read that out, guys. I'm just going to put that there for you. Let me just, so you can pause it if you want to do it. Like I said, hopefully you've got the book anyway. So you can pause that and get the information from that. And there is an excerpt here from the Rising Merits, the 42 Pearl Temples of Egypt. Step 2 of stage 7 was the shrine temple NKHN. The emblem of this gnome was a shrine. The meaning of a shrine in this context is your vessel, the mortal form. In this temple, you learned about the body. You learned every part of it in an energetic, physical and spiritual way. When you graduated from all 42 temples, you needed to be a master of the physical body. The reason is not only for physical healing, but to assist the people for spiritual healing. You learned how to study the energy of the body to determine spiritual blockages. These blockages are always what causes illnesses of the mortal form. Man did not start living shorter life cycles until they developed these blockages. As they fell further away from their spiritual path, it caused these blockages to increase. Your duty as a spiritual leader in ancient Egypt was to assist in keeping man on their spiritual path. You hold such a deep connection to ancient Egypt because you had many life cycles in that era. You did this to offer your light in assisting man, to help keep the mending of timelines on track. Many of you came from another location in space during this time node to be a teacher. The energetic balance upon the planet was starting to shift, and a directive went out to the entire galaxy for assistance. The Sirius system houses a seat of the Melchizedek order for this sector of the universe. Those of you here on behalf of the Melchizedek mandate came here by the Sirius Gateway. Many members from the order came to anchor the light, teach and protect major gateways of Earth. Those of you who experience many ancient Egyptian lifetimes are part of this mandate. You hold within your light body the organic codes for this universal blueprint, meaning that you are here to anchor these codes into the planetary grid. When you work with a material form, those codes will leave your field to duplicate. They then become seeded in the energetic field of your being. You are healing. This is a huge service you are doing for all of creation. One of the techniques used in this temple was the spiritual reading of teeth. People would come into the temple with tooth pains. If the energy of a tooth is unbalanced, it holds an underlying spiritual blockage. Your teeth are directly connected to your nervous system. Your nervous system is the very command center of your mortal form. This command center oversees your emotions, memory, breathing, body movements, intelligence, and much more. As you study the chart below, you will awaken these memories within you. So again, you'll have to pause this to study this chart. And that is kind of perfect timing, my alarm going off. In fact, I'm going to have to stop you, so I'm going to do a little edit on this to add on just this last bit. Okay, so apologies for that little edit, but I really had to. I just couldn't do a minute longer then, so... sorry, I'm just trying to make it as easy as possible to see. It's not so easy. So you can see that page and then that page there. So you'd have to stop it to look at it. Okay, so along with this, you will learn the correlation of stuck energy in a body part to the energetic bodies. If there is an energy blockage in the meridian system listed above, go within to heal that stuck emotion it corresponds with. Again, this is mainly tied to another lifetime. From that unhealed wound, it has carried over into this lifetime through your energetic bodies. Energy must be able to flow like a river. If it cannot flow within the body, then it causes a blockage which can lead to illnesses like a tumour or cancer. Within the last few decades, many have had nerve discomfort. Many have seen an increase at night of leg cramps and restless leg syndrome. This is because the lower energy centres of your form are unable to hold the energy flowing into them. Energy enters your vector field at the north pole of your body. It then travels down your spine to exit out the soles of your feet. From there, they feed into the grid lines of the planet, which simply represents the veins of the body. This energy is what helps to feed Earth. When your emotions are balanced within, it helps the cosmic waters run through you. Think of a clogged drain. When you unclog this drain, the water encounters no resistance. This is how stuck emotions work on your energy field. The light that enters you will meet resistance. It then starts to spin, creating a vortex. The vibration of this vortex will attract into it an energetic match. This is where energy attachments are formed. They are attracted to this energy and freed from the vortex field. As this attachment feeds, it causes a pulsating from this vortex. This pulsating is sending out a signal to your field for a supply of that energy. Allowing yourself to feel in every now moment will prevent energy to clog. In this temple, you learned how to assist others by healing those vortex fields in the energetic bodies. The energetic bodies directly cover over the material form. They simply are the invisible magic robe. When you learn about the mortal body, you are learning about the creational body. Every part of you, your form, is simply a mirrored image of all of creation, meaning a healthy body echoes out a mirrored reflection for the creational body. This directly connects to all energetic bodies from the micro to the macro. Beautiful. I've so loved reading this book. I just think there's so much important information in for us, like I said from the beginning, so I'm not going to re-say it all, but I hope that you've enjoyed it. I hope that you check out some of the other books that I'm going to be reading, which is coming up next on my channel, which is Anastasia, the Ringing Cedars, which came to me really synchronistically. It carries lots of codes and activations, so I'm so excited about reading that book. But it's been great. If you've made it to the end, then you're going to be really traversing this ascension in a much more effortless way than people that are just closed off from this truth, from this information. Like I said at the beginning, I was so grateful that there were other people that had tread the path before me and that were talking about some of these ascension symptoms so that I could understand what was going on in my body. I always knew it wasn't anything medical, but often we can think these things if we don't know our bodies and we're not connected to them, and it's just so helpful to understand what is happening as we're receiving these immense amounts of light. So yeah, it's been a pleasure to read this book, and hopefully you'll join me with the next one.